And of course, the most disappointing news of the week concerning the Florida State family, and we wanted to hear from James on this, was the passing of Geno Hayes at the age of 33 to liver disease. So, James, we certainly wanted your thoughts and your take.
Yeah, it's something that I think the most I spoke on it was on First Coast News last night. That was just 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes. I've lost quite a few teammates. We've lost two since October. We lost October right around Halloween. We lost Mario Henderson. Um, Played left tackle for us, played for the Raiders and a few other teams. And then we lost Geno. Geno actually had been sick for a little bit. He was doing better. Went to the hospital earlier this year. It was going like regularly to check on himself, and then it just got bad. And it's it's one of those things where it'll bring a lot of me and my former teammates together, but we got to do stuff a little bit more often than when somebody passes. But Gino was an amazing football player, undersized linebacker that played way bigger than what he was, and I mean he brought it. In practice, he was banging. He was not afraid to hit anything. He was not afraid of competition. I think he wasn't afraid to run his mouth or speak his mind. Tebow kind of shut him up once, but that happens. Tebow shut a lot of people up, but Gino was a fun a great father. A guy like me who's one of my motivations is, even though I shouldn't have to, but I feel compelled to continue to defy and break stereotypes that people have by mainstream media and things like that. But Gino was definitely one of those guys, and a guy who did not think quite like everybody else, is a true intellectual, and that's not said enough when it comes to football players. But he was an amazing friend. I really missed and enjoyed our Dope Boy podcast. I was actually listening to a lot of them the last couple of days, and just the insight um, from guys who were on that field and making calls, and just even some of the sayings. Again, the world lost we all lost. I lost a good friend, a good teammate. We all lost a good man, but more importantly, his wife, lost a friend, and then his two children lost a father, man. And that's the part that really irks me. Not irks, because it's nobody's fault, but that's the part that really bothers me more than anything else, because no matter what happened, these kids are still young, and they can't get back their father in those moments. And there's a son that's gonna grow up playing football, that's that like his father, that's not gonna have his father to be able to give him the game and that wisdom. But that's where people gotta, if you're really a Geno Hayes fan, and just in football players in general, man, if you, or not football players, just people you say you care about, find out how to support them and make sure that they're good. We do this with musicians, but there's no albums that we can go buy of Geno's. But like, make sure his fam. He's a Madison County legend. Make sure his fam is good. Make sure his people are good. And I'm gonna do that as a player, as a teammate. But you know, give guys their flowers while they can smell them. Because even me, I gave it to him. I talked to my dog a lot. I always laugh, joke with him. I'll probably shed some tears when his funeral happens, but too often I don't like. I'm gonna be honest with you. Don't go on Twitter capping about me if I die diabetic shock or something. And to like, no, bump that. Give me my. I was about to curse for real. Give me my
Yeah.
flowers where I can smell. Like, them flowers don't do nothing. Those praises and adulations don't do nothing for me when I'm cremated and buried on my property, like as a flower or something. Let my kids know. Let me know. Let people know, and not just me. Like with Mark, like I talk about, Mark got one of the best YouTube channels. I say it every day. It's something I mean. I don't go and say it with Mark in here, Don't go and say no. Game day is a dope enterprise, media enterprise, and not go subscribe to the Patreon and not retweet something and not see it. Don't talk about JPZ like that. Like, give your people, let them know why they're here, because when they go, from what I understand, unless science is telling me different, they can't hear it.
James,
so that's my take on Geno.
In the few times I had a chance to interview Geno during his freshman season, he seemed like somebody who was he was very humble about getting the opportunity to go from Madison County, small county in the Panhandle, to go to Florida State, and then goes to a 7-year NFL career. I mean, he had a longer career than I think a lot of people ever thought he would be able to. Was he that same, you talk about how he wasn't afraid to speak, but did you see that same humbleness from him when he was on that team, that you saw somebody with that desire and that hunger?
Oh, yeah. I mean, very, like, humility shows itself in numerous ways. Like, he was very.
Hey, James, we lost you. Can you hear us?
Oh,
hold on.
I think it's coming back.
We hear you. Live TV, everyone. Live TV here with MarkRogersTV, the voice of culture.
Yep, we're live.
We will hang out for James and pick it right up back with him once we get him back. And it looks like that may just happen.
There he is.
There we go.
James, we got you back, I believe.
My bad. Odell called me. So, like,
you're good. You're good.
Grace on that.
Wow.
I'll call him back.
Wow, name dropper. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Some of the benefits for being halfway decent. Your coaches remember you. But nah, you were saying about humility. I mean, he was crazy on the field, very braggadocious on the field. As far as somebody that you would just talk to about the privilege and the opportunity of being able to rock the garnet and gold or to make it out of his neighborhood, like, he was one of those guys. He was the guy that was going to give you free game, and he was going to tell you the truth about how he felt, whether you liked it or not. And I think that's what the world needs more of. I mean, like, humble people like to think the guys who hit people hard and then put their hand to pick them up, that those are the most humble guys. Those are some of the most arrogant people you'll ever meet in your life. They're just humble in the manner in which we've known to do. The humble guy is the guy that treats the people who can do the least for him the same as he treats the people that can do the most. And I will say that's how Geno was. Geno was like a guy who, you could be selling waters outside, and he's gonna treat you like you popping bottles in VIP, like the guys who give you Ciroc bottles. That's just, Geno was just that kind of guy. He was he treated everybody the same, gave everybody the benefit of the doubt, and loved on and made sure that they knew how important they were.
Rest in peace, Geno.
Absolutely. Rest in peace, Geno Hayes, 33 years old. And let's not let this live stream die in this video post without everybody, because this happens far too often, is that we see something on television that moves us, something speaks to our heart. We're in the moment, kind of captivated by it. And then the next shiny thing comes our way and we forget what we just heard. So let's not do that. Let's take some action on what James just talked about. And that may not be toward Geno Hayes. That may, and his family, that could be just anybody in your life that, again, that you can speak a word to, that you can help financially, that you can help by mowing the lawn or doing whatever you can do to help that individual that means a lot to you. So again, those are great words, but they only go as far as our actions.